What is up, everybody? I'm back. Been a rough week. Got a few minutes to come out. Figured I'd come out and go live. Got to rig up one of my rods. Let's see what we get. I don't know how soon or if I'm gonna get anybody in here. What the heck? I ain't worried about that as long as StreamYard's working. I don't know if anybody's gonna come in here or not. A lot of people going live right now, but we're gonna try to do this. What's up, John? You doing all right, brother? Got two rods out right now. I got one of my 9.5 foot Whisker Seeker rods, and I got my Silver Cat rod. Hooks and hammocks, what's up, brother? We're gonna try to see if we can't get something tonight. It's been a rough week. My wife wound up in the hospital Sunday night, and she had two doctor's appointments today and another one tomorrow. So she's at home resting. They gave her a bunch of meds. She's at home resting. I figured I'm gonna go out and catch some. At least try to. Of course, as soon as I'll come out here. Nah, I ain't gonna eat no pike. If I catch any, I might eat them, but I doubt it. I doubt I'll be lucky to catch anything out here. How's it going, Dave? Been all right tonight? You may rig up my third rod. I don't know what happened to it. I went to cast it out and the line just snapped. It's all brand new line. It didn't backlash, didn't do nothing. It just snapped, which is not good. Luckily, I came prepared. What is up, Crappy Chris? I guess that's how you pronounce it. Watching from the UK. All right. Let's see here. What should I put on it? This is my baby. This is my rod that catches all my big fish. Let's see here. What y'all think? 8-aught Team Catfish double action? Yeah, sounds about right. Yes, my baby. I catch most of my fish on this rod. I can bring out 5 or 6 rods, and which I know y'all can't really see the rods real well. I might change the positioning of that light. See what happens. Water's still flooded. I'm actually right now. I am sitting probably 25 foot higher than what I normally do. I'm turn it a little bit. You can see there's still trees underwater out there. I have very little room to do anything. If I catch any fish, I've got to try to pull them through the weeds. But you know, it is what it is. It is time to get out. Got people walking down now. This is a very popular place to walk. Could always throw one of these big beasts on there. Those are the 24-aught. I don't think I need that thing that big. Hello. Yeah. Got a lot of current today, and we're going to be using a 8-ounce egg sinker. Normally I'd be using no rows, but unfortunately today I'm at a no rows. Somebody happened to walk off with my no row mode. I've got another one on order, but that's what we're waiting on. Let's see here. There's a double circle hook right there. Whole rig all on one back. Y'all give me just a second. I'll get this rod rig back up and we'll get it out and see what happens. Maybe I'm just hoping it was just a weak spot in the line. I'm not sure. I've never had any issues out of this rod, but I did just change the line out. I normally use a KastKing mono, but I switched over to a Berkley. I'm not sure I care for the Berkley too much yet. starts getting too dark out here, I'll turn my other lights on. Unfortunately, normally I'd have the rods back further with a little bit more light on them, but where you can see them better. But unfortunately, I've only got about a 15-foot stretch of flat beach here. After that, I go into a hillside, as you can see behind me, and yeah, it gets pretty ugly. It's awful rough. I'm gonna take some of this line off. Feels pretty rough. Some pile of garbage that I gotta take home. That's the one thing that irritates me about down here. Ace, what's up, brother? How you doing tonight, bud? Trying to set up one of my rigs. Yeah, I know it. I'm up against, I think Chunky's live, and I seen somebody else went live. I ain't got a chance to check yet, but it is what it is. I mean, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you was in here earlier when I caught several channels. Can't talk. Several channels. Cool. Yeah, I'm liable to catch some channels tonight. I've got I brought some night crawlers with me. With the water being flooded, that's the best bait to have. Lee Evans, what's up, brother? Trying to set up my rig again. Cast it out and it broke, and I don't know why. Brand new line, never been casted out. It's on my good rod and reel. Never had a problem out of this rod or reel. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna go get up to go get my leader line. Just use the regular leader I'm using now. So yeah, I'm gonna set it all up real quick and get us back in the water. See what else we can catch. I had a bite as soon as I got here. I was kind of surprised. I cast it out and I'm like, well, let me wait till the current dies down. A few seconds later, rod almost bent completely over. I'm like, well, that's a good sign. Well, unfortunately, I haven't had much action since, or at least that I can tell. Can't really see real well. I'm about to turn on the light for the ring light and light them up a little bit more since they're so close. Okay, part one. Oh, Catfish Weekly's live also. Yeah, I'm up against some big boys. I didn't know if I'd get anybody in here or not. You know, I figured I might get one or two people to stop in, just say hi, which is cool with me. Oh, that's fine, Hooks, man. I just appreciate you coming in and saying hi. Like I said, I know I'm up against some big boys tonight, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just out here doing my thing. You know, hopefully I get lucky and catch something. That's all I give a crap about. Been a bad week. Trying to hope it gets better. Here, you know, water flooded or not, I'm coming out. My wife's medicated. She ain't going nowhere besides sleep. So it is time to go fishing. The closest ramp to where I'm at right now is called Greenwood Boat Docks, or Riverfront, or River View Park, I think is what it's called. It's on Greenwood Road. That's the closest boat ramp to me. I'm planning on trying to get a boat sometime this year. I haven't got that lucky to get one yet. I've looked at a couple, but right now my focus is on getting a better vehicle, because the vehicle I'm using right now is pretty awful. I mean, seriously, it's pretty awful. Gets 8 miles to the gallon, eats oil like crazy, and yeah, it's falling apart. I might park it and rebuild it. So that's my first goal, is get me another vehicle. A buddy of mine's actually got one that needs some work done to it, and he told me I can get it from him for a couple $100. And since I'm a mechanic, I think I can fix it. Then I have something at least a little bit better. Then I can drive my truck strictly for hauling the boat. Alrighty, we should be set up, y'all. Let's see here. We are good to go. 8-aught Team Catfish circle hook. I'll put some secret bait on there. Oh, hit the camera. I'll explain the secret bait to y'all. If y'all can't hear me too well, just let me know, and I can always put the mic on. We are good. All 3 rods back in the water. All right, let's turn some light on, y'all. Get some light on. Whoa, that's way too bright. All right, turn this down a little bit. There we go. Hey, and y'all can see the rods a little bit better. I'm surprised that Whisker Seeker's not glowing better. I did put high reflective tape on it. Yeah, Lee, if you're still in here, I know you said you're bouncing in and out. That sounds like a plan, man. Anytime you want to go do it, just let me know. After this next couple days, right now, my wife's going through some medical issues. So I had to take an emergency leave for a couple of days off of work. After the next couple of days, I'll be going back to work, but I think I still got 75 hours of paid time off, so I'll make time. Something bouncing that Whisker Seeker. I heard something out there rolling. I don't know if y'all heard that splash or not. They're out there, but yeah, something's bouncing on that Whisker Seeker rod. I know y'all can't see that tip real well. I'm gonna try to angle this up a little bit more. Maybe y'all can see that tip. And I do got a decent light over there, but it ain't doing much of anything. Then in a second, y'all, I'm gonna try to reset this light up some way. to see if it'll reflect on that a little bit better. I just had a broken stick over here. Pop this light up. Going up and down the hills. That should light them up better. All right. Oh, that lights them up a whole lot better. All right, Lee. Definitely seems like something's playing with that. What's your sticker rod? I got a big old chunk of frozen shad on it. And unfortunately, I couldn't get any live bait, so I didn't bring out my Muddy River flathead rod. I guarantee you, I know my flathead spot's usually about 100 yards down this way over here, but I can't get to that spot. So with all this being mudded up and everything like the way it is, and flathead's probably in the area. They're probably moving up and down this bank looking for bait for food. I mean, some of that could be current. Yeah, it is hard to get the light on there a lot of times, John. That don't look too bad though, for real. Shows up pretty good. That's a little cheap light. I'm kind of disappointed with it. It lights up for about 12 to 14 hours on that setting, but at the same time, for the money I paid for it, I think I paid $36 for it, and it's got 100 and something LEDs in it. You would think it would be a whole lot brighter than what it is. You would definitely think it'd be brighter, but it's not. Now, some of that wobble in them rods could be current, because with it being flooded, we've got a lot of current right now, and I don't like keeping these rods that close together. Hoping I don't tangle into my own lines when I roll them in, but that's usually the way it works. But what's got me confused if it's current is one rod will bend, a few minutes later the other rod will bend. You would think they both bounce at the same time. Oh, that was a little hit on that white one though, for sure. That's got a piece of fresh night crawler on it. I've got my secret night crawlers here, but unfortunately they got frozen somehow. I'm thinking they're dead. I seen a little bit of wiggle earlier, so I don't know if they're just hibernating and stiff. So I've got them thawing out right now to see what happens. Yeah, current shouldn't be bothering them that much because I'm actually, I mean, the current's not, I mean, it's bad, but it's no worse than it normally is. Not much worse than what it normally is. And I'm using the same amount of weight. That's what I'm thinking too. Looks like a bite to me, but I'm not for sure. We'll find out because that yellow rod right there, that's my baby. The one in the center, that's my baby. And that's the one I caught that 39-pounder on. The following week I come out, I hooked into something on it that was probably closer to 60 pounds. And I never thought that rod would bend the way it does, but it'll bend almost completely in half when you get a real bite. So we'll find out. Now that's definitely a bite on the silver cat rod. It's hitting it, bam, but they're not hitting it that hard. They're tapping it and letting go. And I got like a little 2-aught circle hook on it with a piece of night crawler, so it's out there for channels or uh, drum or anything I can catch just to catch something. I'll catch a drum or something like that. I'll use it for bait. I think I'm gonna play with them for a second to see what happens. Cause yeah, it looks like it might be a bite or something. Cause that rod's been a little too much and then it's letting up and go. Yeah, it looks like a bite. Let's go see. Oh, if only. Yeah, that's what it is. It's that flood grass. Anytime it floods, the grass gets all up in everything. Right now, the size line I'm using, John, I'm using a 30-pound mono with about a 40 to, on some of them, I got 2 of them, I got 40-pound leaders, and the other one's like, well, I did have an 80-pound leader. It snapped off, so now I'm got 30 leader on one. But yeah, this grass is what it is. Gets tangled in that grass, and that's a nightmare. So we're gonna rip this grass off, throw another night crawler on here. I might try to cast it out the other direction, even though I know it's gonna drift no matter what. This is actually my carp rod. I figured, it's already set up with a small enough hook to catch a baby small channel or got size 2 circle hook, so 2-aught or whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna check and see what we can do. It's hard to cast this freeze right here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my phone. Something keeps on saying one of the apps for the company I buy the phone through, it keeps on failing, but I'm not using that app. I've had that app turned off for months. Jack, it's getting a little chilly today. All right. Yeah, it's only supposed to get down to like 56 degrees tonight, 55, 56 degrees, which is not real great, but hey, compared to the 30s and 40s we've been having, I'll take it. That definitely looks almost like a bite. About bent that yellow rod in half. Yeah, John, my phones have been. I've got five phones through this company, and I tell you what, all five of them been giving me nothing but problems. My phone bill is $186 a month for these five phones, and that's on top of me paying for the phones outright. And I'm tempted to tell them to take my phones and shove them somewhere, finding me a different service provider. And I rearranged them a little bit. I got my yellow pole up closer. I'm thinking that's a lot of that's the grass. I'm not sure, causing that to bend like that. Uh, Center rod's now my silver cat, which is I've got set up a channel cat, and I've got it about 25 foot out, 30 foot out, sitting in the roots of these trees right here, and I'm gonna see what it does. Thank you. The only one in here, John. I figured it wouldn't be that many people in here tonight, but it is what it is. I had to get out and go. Wish I had more casting room out here. I don't blame you, John. Catfishing is an acquired taste as far as fishing wise goes, because most of us just sitting there watching a rod. Oh, you grew up on this river, huh? Yeah, me too. Used to swim in it back in the day. Yeah, I won't do it no more. I think the farthest I'll go up in this river is up to my kneecaps. It's about as far as I'll go. Of course, I say that let one of my rods get pulled in, I'm liable to go swimming. Oh, you still here, Dave? All right, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't expect too many people to come in tonight. Especially with Chunky and them going fishing, going live. But they may come in later on. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay live. I guess until my wife calls and tells me she's woke up. Luckily, my fishing spot's actually maybe a 15-minute walk from the house. Of course, it'll take me 25 minutes to pack up all my gear, but Let's say be nice for one of these rods to actually bend over where I can tell it's a bite instead of just the water current. Right now, the only one actually doing much moving is the yellow one. My whisker sticker is moving a little bit, but nothing like it was a minute ago. I'll be glad when this water goes down so I can get back to my actual spot to where I can set my rods up the way I usually have them, so y'all can see them better. And I got more room to cast out. Because right now I'm confined to a 12-foot space between two trees. Casting is a nightmare. But the baits are in the water. That's a good little bend on that yellow one. Let's see if it slacks up any, does it again, or if it bends anymore. And I'm going to do a little look second, see what happens. Yeah, give that little hook set and see what happens. Yep, there's our culprit. There's our culprit right there. That's what happens when the water's flooded. What's up, Carpin? How you doing, buddy? Ain't had no luck yet. We've only been out here a little bit, but right now we're doing with all the floods, the weeds, and stuff like that. Get some of this off and get it back out there. I'll get the light back on the other rods here in just a second as soon as I get this off there. Get out the way so y'all can see them, and so I can see them just in case. Looks like a bad remake of Ghostbusters. I got the beams all crossed. Oh, that's all good, brother. Thank you, John. Looks like a hit. See, that's the only thing bad about fishing flooded rivers. You get so much uh, current and debris floating through, and it smacks your rods. A lot of times you can't tell if it's a bite or not. But at the same time, I've only got one rod moving. All right. Break out this little buddy just in case I need it. Your wife's watching. Why would you torture your wife that way, John? Seriously. Sorry, Miss Orler. Trying to keep all my gear in one area. Sunfish Assassins, what's up, brother? Got a few of us in here just watching the rods do nothing. Actually, they keep on moving, but they just ain't fish. At least not yet. It's still early here. It's only 8:52. I normally don't get bites at night until usually about 9:15. So we still got about another 30 minutes before I can start worrying about getting a bite. I mean, I still might get a bite, but my best fishing is usually about 9:15 to 12 o'clock in that area. Get back going on the big screen. All right. Now I feel famous. Maybe I'll get lucky and land one of them monsters I'm usually landing, but haven't been landing in the last 6 months. My average fish is 30 to 60 pounds, so hope I can hook one of them and I'll bring it real close to the camera, make it look bigger than what it is. Hold it up like this and stretch it on through. See, that looks like a bite because that's bending and going back loose again, loosening back up. The only rod I know I don't have to worry about being able to tell if it's a bite or not is this silver cat rod in the center. Since all this water, I'm literally flooded. Normally, I'm down this hill another 20-25 foot, and yeah, I'm only halfway down that margin right now because the water's still so high. I've actually still got the roots of the trees and about 4 foot, 5 foot of the tree in the water still. So I've actually got that. That's my carp rod. I've got it set up channel cats tonight. Uh, Channel cat, drum, whatever wants to bite it. Got a big old piece of night crawler on there. A little be 2-aught circle hook, and I got it casted at about 20 foot in front of me, right in the roots of them trees. You see, that's bouncing. That's hitting like that. That's a bite. Let's see if we can't hook something. Just a bunch more ick is all we getting. What's up, Lynn? Ain't seen you around. You working? Got a barge coming through. Hope I get a barge bite. I doubt it. Right now, only bites I'm getting is. I still got my headlamp on. The bites I'm getting is the weeds. I can't get a good cast out here because I got trees surrounding me. The current's so strong it's just pulling everything down. I got 10-ounce lead on one rod and 8 on the other. It's moving both around like they're 2 ounces on it. know what this phone is doing. Yeah, I got like 3 trees surrounding me, including one behind me, which is making it impossible to cast. And the one rod is actually sitting a branch right now. I'm trying to cast over it. Trying to get it we're gonna chunk the cat on there. It's out there. I needed that around these trees. I brought my chainsaw. Yeah, this is the gunk we're dealing with. It's all I'm gonna get all night, I think. Gets on that line and it pulls them rods any way it wants to pull. Only got one rod in close enough. I don't think I gotta worry about it. The rest of them are out there far enough to where they're getting in the gook. Still got my chunk of shad on there, so it's good like that. Price keep going up. Trees in the way. Like something's playing with that silver cat rod. If it is, it's something small, but I got it sitting in there about 20 foot from shore, so it don't really move it much. Ben Rich Boys, what is up, brother? Dealing with a bunch of nightmares. Flooded river. River's flooded. I'm stuck basically 25 foot off the shore in some trees trying to make it work, but you know us fishermen, we're stubborn and don't give up. I'll be out here trying it anyway. Change out my batteries for my headlamp in case I need it. Hopefully I hook in one of them monsters I normally hook into down here so I can show y'all people. Oh man. I think the camera's shy. I was joking around with some people about that a couple months ago. The cameras are off and I don't bring my cameras with me. It bites all night. I bring my cameras with me, nothing happens. I don't know. I think the camera's shy. I think after I get the first one on film, live, I won't have that problem as much. Today tonight we're using I got frozen skipjack. Frozen shad, because I couldn't get any live bait today. I got frozen shad. I've got night crawlers. I've got my special night crawlers, which happen to be frozen, and I don't know if they're going to be any good or not. And then I've got chicken breasts soaked in chicken liver blood and a store-bought dip bait for catfish. Figured I'd try it, see what it does. So far, no luck. I've gotten a few little nibbles, I think, but you can't really tell much on what's bite and what's not a bite from the current and stuff pouring. I do believe I got 2 of my rods stationary now, so we might be okay. I know the silver cat's stationary. I've got it about 20 foot off the shore with a small hook and a piece of night crawler on it. See if we can't hook into a channel because it's flooded and I'm actually fishing in the trees right now. So I'm pretty sure they're up looking for food, and night crawlers what they're used to in unfamiliar water. All right, I'm gonna turn my chair a little bit so y'all can see the rods better. That way I can see the rods better. Make sure if I do get a bite, we can see it. Looks like I'm getting a bite on the yellow one right there. Let's see what happens. This didn't good. We'll let him play with it. Big old chunk of shad. He ain't getting it off very easy. We'll let him play with it, see what he does. If he wants it, he'll bend that rod over. I hate when they tease you. Unfortunately, with it being the way it is, me having to fight on that rod now. And y'all can't see the tip of that one. It's 9.5 foot. She's getting a little action. Yeah, that high reflective tape glows pretty good. That's what I got on there. Hey, Becca, how you doing? How'd your snake bite do? Oh, I'm blinding everybody. Heard you got bit by a snake. That ain't good. Should have went to the hospital. We waiting to catch a monster. No, I ain't had no fish yet. I got some stuff playing with it. That's about it. They don't want to be serious with it. They're just playing games. So it is what it is right now. Got a bunch of different baits. Mike Irvin, how's it going, buddy? Doing all right? Try to make me some mods for while I'm on here. Wandering Fisherman, what is up, brother? I guess some of the other people stopped going live. I wasn't expecting to have maybe one or two people in there. I know Chunky was live and everything. Hopefully he's having better luck than I have. I'm actually fishing a flooded river. I'm talking is extremely flooded. I'm actually, these trees are actually 20 foot up further than what I normally fish. The trees on the other side of it are actually underwater, probably 6 to 8 foot. You can see them sitting out there in the water. And I'm fishing in between the trees. It's a nightmare. I can't cast out that far. Yeah, it's been real fun, but you know, it is what it is. Had a few minutes to come out. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I do have a small rod, my silver cap rod on the end. I've got a 2/0 circle hook on it, piece of night crawler. I've got it about 25 foot, 25 foot out in the water in front of me, where it's sitting in the tree roots. Where if any of the smaller cats, the channels and stuff are swimming around looking for food, I got a night crawler out there. That ain't good. Ain't good at all, Carpin. I'm hoping I don't get bit by a snake down here. It's going to happen eventually. I know we got a bunch of them down here especially during the summer, and the grass gets probably waist high. and I'll wander through it. I don't care if I can get to my fishing spot. Now I am lucky about one thing. I actually have a restaurant that's right behind me, way up on the hill. Real popular restaurant. A friend of mine actually works for the people, and they said that I should be able to uh, should be able to park in their parking lot, which will save me about a 20-minute or about a 10-minute walk. And they actually cut a path that comes down here about 100 yards down this direction, which is usually the path I take down. Right now, it's still, I try to step in it earlier than going down that path, and it still goes up to your ankles in mud. Yeah, thanks for dropping the links in, Becca. Appreciate that. If y'all want to drop whoever's link you want to drop in there. Uh-oh. Something big just splashed out there. Then close enough to my line, though. What the heck? I guess my battery surged. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn this down a little bit. Got a little bright. There we go. Now I'm not a ghost again. Well, that's some funkiness. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. If I turn that light back up, them rods are doing some weird dances. Probably some more of that gooky stuff I've been pulling out of the water. I wouldn't doubt if it ain't the Loch Ness Monster, Rebecca. Everybody thinks I'm joking around about it up here, but I got some video footage I ain't edited yet because my computer is so slow that yeah, I don't edit many videos till I get my new computer and everything going. And I got a video where I was walking down here and I had size 11 rain boots on and walked into a footprint about this big and it's barefoot walking down the beach. And it walked right through my fishing spot right towards the water. That's the third time I found them big tracks down here. And I'm not a much of a believer in Bigfoot and all that other crap. I don't really believe in it too much. I mean, I don't doubt anything, but I don't believe in it much. But I tell you what, you come down here, because this is all old Native American land right where I'm at right now, land of my ancestors. There's a plaque up on the top of the hill that says that was a landing spot for the Native Americans coming from across the river. And yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I've seen some weird stuff down here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Seen and heard some weird stuff. But I've literally moved my fishing spot because of footprints. Oh, you own snakes. Okay. Well, I can imagine you got bit then. I can imagine you get bit. Yeah, I've owned a few snakes, but I owned a ball python, a Burmese. My brother-in-law owned an albino reticulated python that was I want to say when it died was almost 16 foot, 17 foot long. Took two of us to get out of the aquarium. He wound up giving it its own bedroom eventually. I was sleeping in that room one night and I had restless leg syndrome, so my leg rocked back and forth. Yeah, I woke up and the snake's up at the glass like this, watching my leg going back, my foot going back and forth out from underneath the cover. I'm like, yep, all it's seen is my foot. It ain't seen nothing else. And that small movement looks like food. So yeah, I'm just glad he didn't get out that day. do yourself a favor if you own snakes. If you own snakes as pets, make sure you see them start acting funny, like they're getting sick. Take them to the vet immediately. That's what happened with my brother-in-law's reticulated. It got a cold. And it was the second time. Man, this light for some reason just keeps on flickering up. I guess it wants to show y'all the rods and nothing else. Hey, if I stand back here, y'all okay? But yeah, it had a cold a few times, so it wasn't nothing unusual for him. But yeah, the last time did him in. That was a sad day. Uh-oh, that's some action on the yellow rod. Come on, take it. Quit playing with it and take it. That's all they want to do is play with it. They'll bounce it like this, nibble on it, but they won't be serious with it. And I've seen that rod bend almost completely in half down there right off the top of the water. So I can only imagine how far it would bend down right now if it actually got a good fish on it. Probably bend down pretty good. Got a little nibble on the silver, silver cat rod too. Now I do got circle hooks on all these rods except for the yellow rod. It's got about a 6/0 Team Catfish hook, and to be honest with you, I like that hook. The last time I caught anything down here worth having, uh, the last 2 times I've caught anything down here worth having, I've caught on that same rod with that exact hook. Well, one just like it, because after the 39 pounder I hooked last year, the first video I put out, anytime I catch anything over 25 or 30 pounds, I'll change my hook out. I'll retire that hook because I've had them break before. These things are just playing some games right now. They are just nibbling. Some of that movement's the current and the debris flowing through the river being flooded, but some of it I do believe is bites, because the 2 center rods, the yellow rod and the silver cat rod, my small channel cat, which is my carp rod, but I've actually used it for cats tonight, channels, drum, anything else that bites. All right, John, you back? Ah, got your cold frappes and pretzels for the show. All right. Now all I gotta do is catch you the fish. All right, I'm gonna try, brother. I'll try to show you the fish. Something is playing with that yellow rod, something fierce, but it just does not want to take it. Just little bitty baby nibbles. It bends it a few inches, and that's about all it does. I'm gonna turn this light up a little bit and back up away from y'all, where I'm not ghostly looking. Put it light up that rod a little bit more so y'all can see it better. Y'all should be able to see it at least a little bit better. But yeah, it's doing some goofy stuff. I don't know what it's doing. and it was stationary. After it sunk in the mud, I made sure it was staying there. It was sunk in the mud and wasn't moving. So I don't know. Unless the current's done picked it up again. The bad about it is I have an 8-ounce. Oh, sure, got this off. Yep. I got an 8-ounce on the yellow rod and a 10-ounce on the Whisker Seeker rod. And I can promise you right now, they're both still floating down the river like there's nothing holding them. It's like there's no weights on them at all. That's how much current I've got right now. There's so much debris in the water. Like I said, the silver cat rod on the end, it should be fine though, because I've actually only got it about 20, 25 foot out in the water. And I got Nightcrawler on it. It's sitting in a calm area in between trees. So I'm pretty sure if I get any major action on it, I mean, I'm getting little bit bends, but if I get any major action on it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fish. And even though it's flooded down here, this water should calm down here soon. Usually around 10 o'clock, it starts calming down. Even when it's flooded, it looks like a sheet of glass out there. Current drops by about 5 or 10 miles an hour, or knots, however you want to measure it. It'll slow down quite a bit. When it starts slowing down and my rod starts drifting so much, I'll probably try to recast them. Of course, with the tree that I'm surrounded by right here, and this big old beast of a tree right here, I know you can't see it, but there's a big old tree right here. I'll light her up real quick with my headlamp. Big old tree here. There's one directly in front of me right here, and the treetops are touching each other. So I've literally got about a 20-foot window to work with. Literally, it's only about 20 foot across here that I've got to cast through. So I'm casting it at an angle, and I'm casting it every different direction I can, try to get it to cast better. Now I can go on the other side of this tree. There's a bigger opening on that side, but the problem with going over there is that I don't know how. I looked at it earlier when I first got here, and I don't know how I would set up the cameras or the rod holders, because getting it to set up on that little hill over there would be almost impossible. But I wouldn't have the tree to cast through. Not as bad. Y'all know? Does anybody know if Chunky did any good tonight? Of course, he's probably still out right now. He usually don't. He usually don't call it till about 12. Got another barge coming through. Maybe we'll get into the barge bite. Be nice. Big old barge coming through. No, that looks promising. Come on, take it on down. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. It's pretty high up. Let's see if I can level this up a little bit for a second. Rod keeps on getting that tall rod keeps on getting some good bends in it, and then going straight again. Now you saw the line bounce. Something out there playing with it for sure. But it's got a 9/0 double action circle hook on it, so I really don't want to yank up on it too much. If I yank up on it, I might just lose the fish. He's out there playing with it, pulling it loose, so let's see what happens. Yeah, he don't want it that bad. He's just playing with it. The only good thing about being this high up on the water is down here I usually practice what I call stealth fishing. I usually don't have as much light on, or as much as I keep as much light off as possible off the water. But considering the factor I've got to walk down the hill about 9 foot to get to the water. Now I've got the trees blocking all the light. I don't see any light reflected in the water at all. So that's good. And this ring light actually lights up pretty good out here. It'd be nice if the water was down by another 5 or 6 foot so I could get past that tree and get a good cast. I don't know about this Whisker Seeker rod. I got a Yin Yang reel on it that I just purchased. First time I've ever tried it out. It seems like it's going to cast okay, but at the same time, I can't get a good whip on it because I'll smack the trees. And so I'm only getting at about maybe 30 yards. Normally, with my yellow rod, I can get out a good 60 to 80 back with it. It's shorter. So I'm actually at about probably 35 yards from the orange one, maybe 30 yards from the yellow rod. Normally, I like to be 60 or 80 yards out. We got to do with what we can do with. And his phone keeps on acting stupid, keeps on closing apps. You almost went live from the creek. We got a big creek that's out here. And the creek, it's supposed to be the creek of monsters, is all my friends keep on telling me. I know I've seen pictures of 6, 7 pound bass pulled out of that thing, and up to 15, 20 pound catfish pulled out of it. But it's been a while since I've been down there, and I have never had no luck. I've only went down there twice. Uh, it's flooded both times, so I don't know how good it was at that time. But yeah, it was. I was going to go live from there, but I didn't have to fight with all this current, but I didn't go. Let's see here. Let's see here. He said something about lights or something. Um, Sorry, didn't mean to light up your thing. I was trying to scroll up. Where you get your lighting? Yeah, it looks like so. The light I got on my head, I got from Amazon, along with the ring light I'm using. The cheapest one they had on Amazon. I think I paid like $36 for it. And I think I paid 26 for this. And it's got the batteries. It comes with 6. Well, you can't even see it. Let me turn this light down some. Oh, now it went off. It's dark. Maybe my power supply died. Hold on, y'all. Let there be light. I said power supply shouldn't have died yet. There we go. Turn it down here. It does it every time I turn it down. It goes off. Yeah, don't buy this light, John. I've been having problems out of this light anyway. Every time I go to turn it down, it doesn't work. Put it on a different power supply. I've only got 6 of those out here. Let's see what it does. There we go. That one's got to be turned on. Okay. Now let's see if I can turn this one down without it shutting off. There we go. Yeah, this light right here, I tell you what, it's been a nightmare since I got it. It is not going to work properly. But it comes with these little rechargeable batteries, the 3.6 volt batteries. Get 6 of those with it. Charger for it. The headlamp works for about 2 hours on high beam, which is pretty good. This light right here is one of them. That was called. It's a Bell and Howell light, but I would probably recommend that light, the Bell and Howell. As you can see, that's on high, and you can't really see nothing. And I really don't know if I can adjust it to make it do anything better. I thought about trying, but yeah, that's the only good thing about that Bell and Howell light, even though it's that bright. It is rechargeable. It takes about, I want to say it takes somewhere around 10 hours to charge it, 12 hours to charge it. But it's supposed to run for 10 to 14 hours, so on high, which I like. I can charge it. And if it was just me up here and if I wasn't recording live, that'd just be just enough light for me to see my rods where I wouldn't be worried about it. Because I've always felt in this area, since there's no natural or artificial light, the artificial light, since there's no artificial light up here at all, There's no street lights or nothing within for probably a good 6 to 8 blocks. So all these fish are used to this pitch black. And I like to keep it that way. I seem to have better luck with it. Real dark. But I'm thinking with me being up on this hill, I'm so high above the water right now, it shouldn't matter. Now I did buy some of those regular light bulbs, John. They look like regular light bulbs. They're rechargeable. Uh, and those things are awesome. They are awesome. Uh, I don't know what they exactly call them. They're an LED rechargeable house light, and they'll burn bright. 100 watt. Looks like a 100 watt light in your house, and it'll burn like that for almost 2.5 to 3 hours on one charge. I bought a 4 pack from Amazon for about $30 one night, and I went down and bought one of these cheap little aluminum domes that you get for working on cars and stuff that clamp on and stuff. And I just put one of those in there and had the wires so I could touch them together. The light will come on, and it'll light up this whole beach. I mean, it's 7 to 10 times brighter than this little light right here. It's so bright that I don't even have to use my headlamp. I can sit right here and use that one little light that I got to light up this whole area so bright, like almost like daytime. I was going to bring them with me tonight. I was trying to travel light because I didn't know if my dolly was going to make it down here. Oh, trust me, John, I understand that, brother. I was at work the other day and I had to give me a pair of reading glasses because I can't see the labels. Once my friends walk by, coworkers and stuff that I talk to all the time walk by, and they just look at me with this funny look. I said, "Say something, please, please. I will choke you. I am old. I cannot see." Yeah, the only reason why I actually use the light down here, though, John, because for the rods, you got to see the rods to get out of here. Normally, if I'm down here fishing, I won't have any light on. I've been known to sit in darkness down here, sit down here like that all night. Just use the sky, the light from the sky, which is overcast tonight. So I thought that would be a great thing. Pressure slowly dropping. We had real high pressure earlier today, but we've got storms coming in tomorrow. I've got some and it's slowly going down and down and down and down. So, if the pressure's dropping, it should get out. I just don't know how much more of this flooded water I can take. Michael Mayfield, what is up, brother? Yeah, no, I ain't caught nothing yet, man. Yeah, I know they missed me, brother. Wife's been in and out of the hospital. She went to the hospital Sunday. I had to rush to the hospital. And she had 2 doctor's appointments today, one for a kidney specialist and one for a heart specialist, with emergency appointments that they set up last night. And then or Sunday night after she left the hospital. And she's got another one tomorrow with her blood doctor.
They're trying to find out why she's having all these pains because her kidneys started getting to the point to where they was almost felt they was only working at 46%. And today we got some good news. They're back up to 56%, which is great. They said 60 and higher is normal, so I'm pushing for that other 4% real. Right now they got her so heavily medicated she can't move. Kids are at the house and with her. So I told her, I was like, you get you some rest. I'm gonna go try to relieve some stress and go fishing. Nah, Mike, I ain't got nothing yet. I'm down here right behind y'all, actually. You know where I'm at. I'm not gonna say where it's at out loud, but I've told you where I'm at. Right now it's still extremely flooded. I'm talking these trees are still underwater. You can't really see them right up there. These trees right here are still underwater. I'm actually casting in between them. I've gotten a few decent little nibbles. But that's about all they're doing is nibbling. They're not getting serious with it. But the night's still early. Wife ain't called. JV's in the house. What's up, brother? Nah, we ain't had no luck yet. Getting some nibbles, that's about it. They're not getting serious about it. Had some good pole dancing going on. That's about it. Speaking of that, my daughter-in-law bought me a nice shirt today. She ordered a couple days ago from Amazon. Got a fishing pole bent over. Says everybody loves a good pole dance. I'm like, yeah, I like that stuff. Yeah, I'm down here, Mike, over at the Lennings place. You know where that's at? Right behind Lennings. I walked over while the wife was asleep. I mean, this water is still way up. I'm talking. If I was on this other side of this tree over here behind me, you can see the trees are still underwater. Some of these big trees that's been here for years are have water 5 to 6 foot up on their stalks. They're still that far under. All right, Mike. Catch you later, brother. I'll be back in Wednesday. Tomorrow should be the last doctor's appointment, hopefully. Hopefully they figure something out. Yeah, I've got some good co-workers, man. Honestly, do. They're all good people. That's the only reason why I like that job. Because I tell you what, if there was ever such thing as a sweatshop in the United States, where I work is a sweatshop. But the people there, supervisors, the managers, the leads, the people themselves, they're all great people. I mean, most of them I would hang out with on a daily basis. They're that good of people. The guy Mike that just come in, he's actually from my work. Yeah, they're real good people over there. But that's what makes the job worth having. I could probably go out right now and get a job, probably paying out about $2 or $3 more an hour. Of course, I'd have to drive a lot further, and on top of driving a lot further, I'd have to probably deal with a bunch of people I didn't like. So I think I'll stay where I'm at. I'm gonna see if I can reposition this light, give y'all a little bit better light. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm gonna try. that show up any better or any worse? Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, about worse. Yeah, it even looks worse to me. Huh. Let's reposition. Guess I just put it back where I had it at. Mike's Outdoors Adventures, what's up, brother? We all just out here watching the poles do nothing. They was dancing real nice earlier, but that's all they would do. They got there teasing me. Yellow rod's getting a little bit of movement, nothing major. Yeah, I think the next time I come down here, I think I'll leave that little bitty light right there. I'm using to light the rods at home and bring down one of my big lights. Weighs about the same. Takes a little bit more space, but it does a lot better job. I can set it down on the ground about 6 foot in front of them rods, and it'll look like daylight. Take it, don't play with it. I may have to downsize my baits a little bit. I am using decent sized tuna. Of course, I usually don't come down here and fish for anything under 30 pounds, but any fish counts right now. I do have my channel cat rod out with a big old chunk of nitro on it. I figured it done would have been in the water by now.
The light that's 4,000 looms on high. I think my headlamp's that bright, but other than that, most of mine ain't that bright. I usually don't use my bright lights down here. I like it as dark as possible, but y'all can't really see the rods that way. But I have figured out how to make it to where y'all can see the rods and not affect the fishing. So next time, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring the other light down with me. I was trying this light out to see what it would do, because the other lights that I use, they only last for about 2.5 hours. Then they start getting real dim. And yeah, I didn't want to. I know this one right here stayed charged and burned on high for about 10 hours. So I figured I'd bring it instead. But I tell you what, I'm kind of disappointed in it. I'm liable to charge it up and just leave it at the house in case power goes out. Grab my other lights and start using them again. One of them makes it look like it's daylight down here on this bank. Set it up in front of the rods right in here, where it's shining towards the bank, where it lights up the rods real good. And I got the ring light right here to light me up now, so I don't really need anything else, just those two lights. So Becca, you shouldn't get too nervous about it. You do a great job. You honestly do. I understand it gets nervousness, and you do get nervous about it. I mean, I get nervous every day. And yeah, I mean, it's like when I was coming down here setting up Alive this tonight, I knew wasn't gonna be too many people in here, and I was already getting the jitters. But I mean, you gotta get past that. I mean, honestly, you do. You do a great job. We love seeing you on there. If I didn't work as much as I do, I'd come on with you, back you up. It's got to be more interesting than watching these rods do nothing. I mean, I knew there was a slim chance to catch anything tonight anyway, because the water being so flooded and everything else, and me not being cast out to my normal spots. But you know, I'm still optimistic. If I can get to the water, I go. Yeah, Warner. I mean, my rods ain't showing up real great right now. You can see a couple of the strips up here. That's that high reflective tape. Man, that stuff works out good. It honestly does. And that's the cheap stuff. I bought that from the Dollar Tree, the little dollar store. It looks like duct tape. And it works real good. If I hit it with this headlamp, I don't even have to hit it directly on with the headlamp. Just, you know, a little bit of light is all it takes. And it will light up everything. Hopefully I don't light up Bigfoot down there and he get mad at me, come down and throw something at me. Be my luck. Get hit with something. But yeah, my other light shines that's about what y'all would see with my other light. That's how bright my other light is. If I had it angled just right, I could probably light it up like it was daylight out here. This spring, when the water actually goes down, we'll have a lot more better fishing, because I'll be able to get better angles and everything. Right now, it's just literally, I could show y'all what little bit of space I'm working in, and y'all would probably laugh about it. My rods are usually about 10 foot further away from me, so you can see the tips of them. And, you know, I've literally got 4 foot, maybe 5 foot from the heel of a flat spot. I come down here earlier right before the sun went down to find out if I could even get to the water. And I come down here earlier to check, and I seen this little flat strip, and it's only about 4 foot wide and about 10 foot long. I'm like, big enough for me to put my rods and put my chair. I'm going live. But that high reflective tape works good. Bells work good too. The only thing I don't like about the bells is
fishing in the current like I am right now, and the flood. I don't know if he was in here earlier or not when I was pulling off all the gunk off the line. We get a lot. I'm talking big chunks of grass and leaves that wrap around the line. You know, keep that rod bouncing like this at all times. And it just that bell was just ringing the whole time, just ding, 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 ding. And you're like, is that a bite or is it really just the current? It's like right now I'm casting out about 30 yards this direction, and by the time it settles with a 10-ounce sinker, I'm probably a good 20 yards this direction, 30 yards this direction. I mean, it's like the current is so strong right now, no matter where you cast it, it just drags it straight on down. I'm going to get me some donkey weights. Of course, it don't do me no good when I can't cast, because right now I'm in between these trees and casting capability is very slim. And I can't get around this tree yard, go on the other side of the tree and cast it out and walk it around, but I can't do that. So because I got a feeling if I could get out a little bit further with that orange rod right there, we would have done landed something by now. But at the same time, I'm really surprised with that silver cat rod, one of my carp rod I'm using for channel cat right now. It's literally sitting 25 foot off, 25 foot off the shore. It's sitting in the tree roots and stuff with a night crawler on it. You would think by now something would have come up and grabbed it. You had 10 ounces of it, Lynn. That's the bad thing. That's 10 ounces and it's still floating down the river that hard. Usually I don't shine the light in the water too much, but I'll give y'all a bird's eye view if y'all want to see it of what I'm dealing with as far as the water levels. You can literally see the trees in the water. They're that high up. And I've got nothing but debris and everything else over here. Let me give y'all a bird's eye view. Give me a second. It might get a little ugly for a second. I know the closer it gets to me, it gets ugly. So we're going to turn this light a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put this back in there and I'm going to tilt the whole thing. That way I can use my headlamp and the light to show y'all. Let me turn this light up a little bit so y'all can see. Now, I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but yeah, I'm literally in the trees. The trees are underwater. And that's what I'm dealing with. And right now, I don't know if y'all can see that or not either, but my lines are actually touching this tree now. They're going into this tree. That's probably why they're bouncing. So now I'm going to have to rearrange them somehow. So yeah, it's a fun task up here right now, but we're gonna make it work one way or another. I'm gonna go out here and see if I can't reposition these rods to get them out a little bit further, and to see if I can get past this tree. I'll probably tangle up in the tree, so it is what it is. I'm gonna turn y'all up a little bit so y'all can see more while I'm doing this. Give me a little bit better light. Now the small rod out here, that one's still straight out in front of me, barely off the bank. This one's done drifting in quite a bit. If I get out the tree line here.
This is the main issue we're having right now. All these leaves and debris is just wrapping around the line, and then it just floats down the river. So I got to reel them in and pull all this stuff off and cast them back out. Now the water should be calming down a little bit since it's after 10 o'clock. It usually does start slowing down a little bit, current. I guess because they shut down some of the plants around the area. So hopefully, if I can cast them out now, they'll stay more stationary than what they were. But right now, they're not doing too much of anything. Get this gook off here, and then I'll resituate them. I might recast my small rod back out, check the crawler on it while I'm sitting here. It did get a couple good hits earlier. Bait. Bait's still good. Get it out of please. Feels like you're pulling in a 10-pound fish. There ain't nothing on there. Just grass. That's got a lot on it. Yeah, it feels like there's a 10-pound fish on there and there ain't nothing on there but grass. Yeah, I wasn't lying, Lynn, when I say I got a 10 ounce. That's a 10-ounce no roll right there. You see how thick that thing is. I make them myself and I weighed it on the scale. I mean, you can watch it bend this rod. This is a extra heavy twister seeker. And you can literally watch it when it bounces, how much it bounces this rod tip. Yeah, it's got some weight on there. It just won't stay stationary. All right, let me roll in this last rod real quick, y'all. Check the bait on it. I'm going to start casting them back out. This really right up in front of me. Doesn't have fish.
Get all the worm off there. This is something that leaves and stuff too. It was only 2 foot off the shore. Had to crawl on and had to back up there. That made it off there. This is only got about 2.5, 3 ounces on it. Now I'm not planning on putting it out there that far. First night crawl. He's real lively, I tell you that. You don't like this look. Turn that off. I gotta back over on the cast. That far. Hey, Frank, it's on it, dude. I'm gonna try to miss that tree. I don't want to get that tree. Cause the complications. Stay back, like, yeah, I've already, I cast out that direction, and I'm already way that direction. It's next day. Right down.
Yeah, getting past them trees are virtually impossible. Fishing Louisiana, what is up, brother? Glad you can make it in the stream. Turn this light down a little bit so I don't ghost y'all. There we go. Now y'all can't see the rods at all, can you? Well, I appreciate Louisiana. I mean, if you wanted to go live, you could have. I guarantee it'd be more interesting than what I'm doing right now. So all we've been dealing with tonight is current and gunk. I'm talking some gunk. I've had some decent little nibbles, and that's about it. And I just backlashed my good rod, real. So I'm gonna be done with it for the night. It's gonna sit where it's at. Got a big old chunk of shad on there, and wait to see if it bends completely in half. We're gonna go from there. Yeah, this whole beach is just riddled with chunks of leaves and stuff that's been floating down. Oh, me too, brother. I want to see a monster too. I'm in the spot for monsters. I mean, literally, this is the spot where I catch all my big fish. I've seen fish pulled out of this spot by other fishermen last year before. Thank God that. Let me rephrase that. I don't really want to be mean about it. I'm glad they decided to move out of the state because me and them was the only two I've ever had come down in this area. But I've watched them come down here and hook into 80, 90-pound fish. So I know they're out there. I've looked into 40, probably close to 60 a couple weeks later. Couldn't get him in. It's the YouTube curse on that one, though. Everybody said they wanted to see the rod bend over and get bites and stuff. They wanted to see the rod action, all the takedown action. So the next week I went out, that yellow rod right there, the first rod, my yellow rod, it's my baby. I just getting ready to pack up, just turned the lights off, stop recording, and I got a little nibble, so I hit record. And then about that time, that rod bent almost completely in half. And I yanked up, and whatever it was, yanked back, and I'm like, man, that's bigger than anything I've caught in the last year. I know for a fact it's at least 50 or 60. You can tell by the way he was pulling. And I looked over, camera wasn't recording. So I put the rod in the rod holder, I run back over and hit record, and I come back over and I go to yank up on the rod. The whole time I'm running back over towards it, you see the rod bent completely in half. But man, I get over there and all he did was cross my lines and spit the hook. I felt him yank for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then when I decided to set it down, it was over. What size rods? This a 7.6 on the end right here, the yellow rod, 7.6. Be honest with you, I don't know what brand it is. It was left in the house that I bought, and actually I didn't think it was going to be that good of a rod, but it's been a wonderful rod. I think it's a Prestige or something. It's a real old rod. If I can find out what it is, I want to get about 10 of them because they've been nice rods.
The center one is a 9'6" heavy action whisker seeker, and then I got the Silvercat Max on the end, which is a 7'6". That's the reason why you can't see the tip on the orange and black rod in the center, is because it is 9'6". Normally I'd have them further down, but right now I've got about 10 foot of space from me to this big tree over here. You can't really go any further. That's how close I am to everything, because there is no space up here whatsoever right now. I'm still sitting in flooded water. That's probably, it's up on the bank, probably 6 to 8 foot in. Most of the trees up here are still underwater and everything. But my wife just got out of the doctor's, where she went to the hospital Sunday, and we had 2 doctor's appointments today. She had to go see her kidney specialist and her blood specialist. Oh, I'm sorry, her heart specialist. She goes and sees a blood specialist tomorrow, so try to find out what's going on with her. They got her heavily medicated right now, so she's at home asleep, and kids are at home with her. So if y'all need me, just holler. I'm 10-minute walk away. Yeah, I was going to order some at Louisiana. That glow in the dark thread. Now, actually, this rod right here, I'll show you something here in a second. That rod does glow in the dark. I've actually got it wrapped with glow in the dark tape in some spots. I mean, if I turn off the lights, you can see it glow good. And actually, when I caught that one last year, that's what I was doing. I had just got a little nibble, and I was like, you know what? It's about time to pack it up. I'm gonna turn all the lights off and see how good the tape glows on here. So I took my headlamp and I lit up the top eye, and I was standing directly behind the rod like this. And as soon as I turned all the lights out, a few seconds later, I was sitting there watching it, and I'm like, why is it getting further away from me? And I look over, and it was literally bent in half. And that's a stiff rod. I didn't think it would ever bend. That's why I'm so impressed with it. I've watched that rod bend so much that you would think it would snap, and it's held up. And I loaned it to a buddy of mine, and he hooked into about a 5-foot gar. And I tell you what, he said that rod was the best rod he's ever used. But I don't know where it come from. I'm fishing the Ohio River down by down in Louisville area, down in the PRP area. Hey baby, did you wake up? Wife just came in. Yeah, I'm down by the PRP area in Louisville area is where I'm at right now. Yeah, we moved down here about a year and a half ago, and I started Google mapping places because I knew I was close to the river. And I started Google mapping using Google Earth, and I found out that I'm literally a 10-minute walk from the river. And during the spring and summer, when the water's not flooded up here, Mike, it's nice. It honestly is. It's like you have a sandy beach up here. It goes about 15 foot out, 16 foot out of nothing but beach, and it stretches about a 2-mile stretch. It's pretty nice. And it's real peaceful and quiet, except for where there's a restaurant. Bess is coming over. Okay, daughter's coming over. Yeah, it's usually pretty nice out here. We do have it, like I said earlier. I don't know if you was in here earlier. I got a restaurant behind me. They're a big restaurant, and they play music sometimes and have live bands. Those are the only nights I don't like coming down here, because
when they got their music blaring, you can't come out here and go live. Well, y'all might have to cut this stream shorter than what I expected here. Cut it short here in a few minutes. Probably about another half an hour or so. Daughter's coming over to the house, so go home, spend some time with her, and like to hook into one of these big river monsters for y'all before I go, though. I will, brother. Trust me. I will, Louisiana. I always do. Anytime I get a chance to see my kids, I'm there. I've actually gotten. That's the only benefit about this virus thing we've been going through. My daughter's been at the house more in the last year than she has in the last 6 years combined. She comes over, stays weeks at a time, so I'm happy for that. Even though she's spoiled rotten and won't get out of bed and do nothing, still. Yes, my daughter used to be my favorite fishing partner. My daughter, my wife, my wife's health started getting bad where she couldn't walk down here, and all it took was my daughter to come down here one time in this mud, and she didn't want to come back. Now she'll still go to any little. Oh, Yellow Rod's doing something. Probably just more gook. But yeah, my daughter, she'll still go to little lakes with me or go to a little creek or something. She loves going to creeks and stuff, but she don't want to come down here by this mud. And I told her, I said, baby, you gotta come down here with daddy. I said to the river. I said, because that's where you're gonna catch the big boys at. I said, I want you in the 50-pound club. And she's like, I ain't worried about it. She said, I'd go if I don't have to deal with that mud. But if I got to deal with that mud, I ain't going. The aggravating part of it is you can hear the fish down here splashing out of the water, especially up by the bank. And they ain't come nowhere near nothing. I've literally got one rod, probably 10 foot. It's probably 10 foot now. Where I always go at, babe. Same spot. Same spot behind Lennings. I'm not gonna say the full name of it because I don't do that. But down my normal spot, I just got to go a little bit of a detour because it's still a swamp up here. Still a swamp. But I did find a nice cutout right here. Yeah, I really can't wait to try out my Muddy River Flathead rods. Ordered 3 of those from Catfish Conference. And I was planning on taking one of them down here with me tonight. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait because I can't get to the hole. There's a flathead hole about 100 yards up. A bunch of down trees, about 4 of these big, huge trees behind me and buried in the water. And every time I cast in that area, I land a flathead. So I know they're over there. Yeah, Louisiana's where maybe Louisiana's down there where I would like to go, but I can't. One of these days I might make it down there anyway. Brave it. The orange rod's moving, but it just kind of it's kind of just slowly drifting. I don't know if it's the gunk on the line or not. What is up, Funk? Hoping on catching one of these big beasts before I have to get off here. Yeah, I think next time I come out here, I'm gonna bring my big lights out. That way y'all can see the rods a little bit better. This little bit of light I got out here, kind of a joke. Honestly, I think it's a joke. My headlamp lights up everything better than that does. You know, the tip on that 9.6 whisker sticker's bending, but it's just doing this. And I don't know if it's the current with all that junk on it. But I mean, I've literally been pulling chunks and chunks and chunks of debris, this nasty debris right here, off of it. This whole beach is just riddled with debris that I've been pulling off the lines. Every time it winds up on there, it just pulls it out and lets it loose. But of course, we get a good takedown, we'll know for sure. I don't know about that 9'6" rod. It's a heavy action, but that yellow rod's a heavy action too. So that's a bite because it bounced like this, went downward. But yeah, I know the yellow one's a heavy action also, and that thing will bend in half in a decent bite. So it's got about the same buoyancy as the whisker sticker does. So I'm pretty sure it'll bend pretty good. The whisker sticker's slowly going forward and forward and forward, but he's going to have to keep on stopping on me. All right, y'all. I guess I'm gonna give it about another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and call it. Hopefully, within that 15 minutes, I'll land something. And something's been in that whisker sticker, but I don't know if it's just the current and all that gook on it or what. But it's acting a little suspicious. I've been dealing with that gook all day, and it's acting a little weirder than that. It might be a fish out there playing with it. We shall see. Yeah, it'd be funny, wouldn't it? Catch a hot mermaid. Yeah, my wife wouldn't let me go fishing no more. I promise you. Oh, something playing with the yellow rod. Oh, is that gonna be a bite? That don't look like this regular motion. Turn this light up a little bit so y'all can see what's going on. I can find the connector. Touch y'all up a little bit where y'all can see that tip maybe. Yeah, it looks a little bit more suspicious than just the regular debris I've been fighting with all night. She's bouncing real good. Come on, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Now I'm ghostly looking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Please be a bite. It was acting like it because it doesn't stop now. It was acting like it's a bite. Maybe we get that 5 minute rule. Never seen a catfish live caught before. Really? Come on, y'all. Give him something. Give him something. 5 pounder, 10 pounder, something. I can't believe you ain't never seen a catfish caught on live before. Chunky and DMV and all of them do it all the time. I'm the slacker right now. Normally I'm landing them all the time, but since I started my YouTube, I think it's a YouTube curse. I was warned about that. I was warned about the fish being camera shy. I didn't believe it. Started YouTube. Yeah, it's been a nightmare. The only time I get bites is when the camera's off or when my stream crashes or something like that. Then I'll get a bite. Or I'll hook a fish and then I got no lights out here to show the fish. And then I'm holding up his monster fish in the dark. Yeah, we just need a big takedown is what we need. Actually, I've got glow in the dark tape on that yellow rod front. It actually glows in the dark. And I got high reflective tape on the orange rod. You can see the little strips of it going up. You can't even see the tip of that thing though, because it's 9.5 foot. And I'm so close to the rods right now. Normally I got my rods a good 25 foot away from me. But with the setup I got right now, the little space I've got, and everything's flooded out, I'm literally 3 foot, 4 foot away from them. Well, maybe 5. Take 2 steps and I'm there. Yeah, DMV kills them. I'd love to go down and fish the Potomac one time, just once. Now the big rod's dancing. We both got shad on them. We thought both of them been bent over in half by now. Usually by now they would have been. I got a funny feeling one of these big trees over here is going to be falling in the water before the week's over, making all kinds of weird hissing noises out of the mud. Guess it's been in the water for so long, the roots are getting weak. Yeah, I don't know how good them uh, Oyster Seeker rods are going to be, but I like the way they look and the way they feel. Can't wait to get a good cast on it to see what it'll actually do, because right now casting it's going to be impossible with this tree in my way. Actually getting out there letting it sling. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, Funk. I've caught some catfish on some weird stuff. The snails, they actually eat snails quite often. They'll eat them quite a bit. My favorite bait to bring down here is bluegill. All right, baby, I love you too. I'll see you in a little bit. My favorite bait to use is bluegill by far. I've had the best bites and best luck on that down here in this area. But right now, this is a bad time for Louisville as far as fishing wise goes. Actually, most of Kentucky, from what I could tell, because most of us fish the river. And yeah, I'm gonna be getting off here in a few minutes, Louisiana. But yeah, it's a bad time to go fishing here in Louisville anyway, because the rivers are all flooded real bad, and all the creeks that we always catch our bluegill out of, they're all flooded and covered in debris. I mean, just it's nasty what people leave laying out. What is up, Abbott? I sure will, brother. I'll message you. Actually, I'll usually cut the tail off about this much of the tail, and then cut the head off, and I'll just throw that whole chunk on there, where the gut pocket's still in it and everything else. Yeah, that's how I usually do it. And I've got some monster bites on that stuff. I'm talking huge bites. Yeah, I've tried to go to the local creek, and I mean, I wish people would pick up their trash. I honestly do. I don't know if anybody's seen that video I posted, a small short I posted. If y'all can see the severity of all the trash laying in the water, it was god awful. I mean, it amazes me how people could throw their trash on the ground and in the water and just act like it's normal, you know? It pollutes our waterways. We can't do nothing. I mean, I went down there and I literally only had a 3 foot circle open to cast my lines to catch bluegill, and I didn't see none. Usually you see them all over the place over there, but I didn't see not one bluegill. And that's not like that little creek I usually fish in. I could normally go down there and with a night crawler or a piece of red worm or a piece of Slim Jim, one of the three, or my wife's favorite, go down there with some corn, use that if I want. And I could normally pull 30, 40 bluegill out in a half an hour period out of that creek. And yeah, I didn't see not one. The only fish I seen alive in that water was two bass, and they were swimming away from me faster than I can get up to the water. You, I'm pretty sure you got them up there. I'm pretty sure you got them up there. And I'm gonna try to do some carp fishing this year too. CT, I'm gonna try to do a lot. Uh, since I started YouTube, I've actually reset all my personal bests. All my PBs were real high. I've been fishing out here, as you can tell, I'm an old man. I've been fishing out on the river for almost 35 years, and my personal best was almost state records. I mean, I've come within pounds of state records, and it's like back when I was catching the big monsters, because we had about a 10-year period here where if you caught one fish out of the water, you was lucky, because they was just overfishing it, commercial fishing, overfishing the waters. The bites starting to get better, the fishing's getting better. A lot of that's due to a part of Steve Douglas fighting to get things taken care of. He's working on a lot of conservation in the river, and they've set in a lot of regulations because of him and a few other people. And I tell you what, since there wasn't cameras and stuff back in the day, well, there was, but little Polaroids, and I don't have all them pictures to post. I decided I'm gonna redo all my personal best this year on YouTube. I'm just gonna do it live, start over from the beginning, and yeah, I'm gonna start over from the beginning and start all my old personal best back. So far, the only thing we've got is I'm at a about a 3 pound flathead and a 39 pound blue. And the blue catfish is when I keep on talking about it, it's driving me insane because it was the last fish I got to catch last year before winter hit and everything got flooded. And I'm pretty sure it was a lot bigger than 39 pounds. My scales bottomed out, and uh I thought, well, hey, it's 50 pound scales and they're showing 39 pounds, so what's a 39 pound fish? No, it was 40 pound scales, and when I got home, they were still reading 10 pounds with nothing on them. So this year, I'm gonna try to get a new personal best. I'm gonna go for blues, channels, flatheads, uh, long nose gar. Uh, I'm gonna try to catch some sturgeon this year. I'm actually gonna go after bass, uh, and I'm gonna try to do something different. Uh, these waters up here are full of spoonbill and or paddlefish, whatever one you want to call them. They're full of paddlefish, and I want to try to get a paddlefish in the mouth. They say you can't do it. I've seen and heard people doing it, and I'm gonna try it this year. I don't like the snagging idea. They say the only way to get a spoonbill is to snag them. I don't like snagging. I don't think it's really a sport to cast out. Now, if you're gonna use it for bait fishing, yeah, that's okay. But I'm not gonna catch anything. Just hook it in the side just to make it work. And so yeah, I'm gonna try to do that this year. I'm hoping it's gonna turn out to be a good year, and we're gonna get a lot of fish on the stream. So does anybody in the stream actually like watching like creek fishing and stuff like that? Is something I should post on my channel, or is that something I should leave off? That'd be nice, CT. I might be to actually do some stuff like that. I've got some cool camera gear right now. I've actually got underwater cameras and stuff and everything else. And I actually have a drone. Well, I had a drone. My wife got me a real nice drone for Christmas one year, and I never took it out and used it. And my stepson, my youngest stepson, was upset one day. He goes, "Why can't I get a drone?" And I looked at her. I was like, "You know what? He'll play with it before I do." And I said, you mind if I give it to him?" Say what again, Bunk? About what I was saying about the cameras? Oh, I said I got some real cool camera gear right now that I'm waiting to try out. I gotta wait for the flood to stop because I can't afford to lose it. I've got underwater cameras that hook up to my line to where you can actually watch the fish bite. You can see them underwater when they bite. Uh, I've got drones. I've actually got micro cameras that I had started designing that go on my rod to where you can actually see the rod tips and everything else as they're bending. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Louisiana, if I get a big fish on there. Some just smacked that whisker seeker. I saw it bounce behind me. But yeah, that's what I plan on doing this year. It's just waiting for this water to go down. It's already supposed to have been crested and went on. It was supposed to have been went down already, but it hasn't done it yet. It's driving me insane. I want to be able to cast out. I got a castable depth finder to where I can, tell how deep the water is and scan the bottom. And I want to be able to scan, like drag the bottom a little bit and make sure there's no snags in that area before I start casting out. Because that camera alone is $63 or something like that, and it doesn't broadcast to your phone or anything. It's got an SD card built into it. So if I lose the camera, I lose all action. So I've definitely got to make sure there's no snags before I start casting out. So yeah, that's what I plan on bringing out here very soon. I'm gonna start getting underwater footage of the fish biting. Uh, I might play around with the green screen a little bit, do a video with the green screen. I got a buddy who was telling me that he could help me work on it. That would be real awesome. Similar to drone footage. It's similar to the drone footage because we're talking about showing the baits hitting the water and everything else. It's gonna be cool. I'm using the extra heavy Avid, the Whisker Seeker 9.6 extra heavy. Extra heavy fast action is what they call it. I think the only medium heavy I've got out here, Avid, is my I got a Silver Cat Max out here. I think it's a Silver Cat Max. I know it's a Silver Cat. It's one of the cheaper ones. My wife ordered it for Amazon for me on for Christmas. I was going to use it for my carp rod because it's so lightweight. I mean, it just the slightest little bend or slightest little bite, and that thing bends in half. So I was going to use it for my carp rod. And then they had a stimulus sale on Whisker Seeker, and they had their 9'6" heavy action heavy fast action rods on sale for like $56 or something like that. So I ordered 3 of those. I'm like, yeah, I'll order 3 of them, get them for free shipping also. And then I wound up getting, I just ordered 3 Muddy River flathead rods that I was going to bring one of them out today, but with the water being flooded like it is, and I can't cast out more than 30 yards out in front of me because of the trees, I'm glad I didn't bring it. Some keep smacking that Muddy River, I mean, that Whisker Seeker, though. That would be cool, Louisiana. It honestly would. Just got to make sure you're using some strong line. I got some 100-pound braid, and I really don't usually use braid that much anymore, but I think when I go to hook up that underwater camera and everything else, uh, and that depth finder, that castable depth finder, between the two of them, it's over $150 worth of $160 worth of gear. I think I'm gonna use using 100-pound test. I ain't playing around with anything else. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the heavy action, and I seem to like them. I was actually impressed. This yellow rod's a heavy action, and I didn't think it'd bend or anything else, and I've actually seen it bend in half, so I'm pretty cool with it. Funk, they're actually, it depends on the weather. Uh, the bigger cats, most of them stay towards the deeper waters, um, mainly during the winter and the colder months. I have seen them come up in the shallows quite often when it gets warmer. Uh, but yeah, it basically depends on water temperature and you know, pressure, basically pressure, water temperature, and everything else. And that's why I like right now the best suggestion I can give you for catfishing, CT, is I don't know if you have a limit on rods. A lot of places have limits. Uh, Here in Kentucky, we don't have a limit. I could bring out 50 rods if I want to. I'm not going to try to do that because it's too much weight to carry because I walk down to my fishing spot. But what I normally do is I try to bring about 3 rods. I'll bring 3 rods and I'll cast different spaces. I might cast one out, 12 yards in front of me, the next one 25 yards, the next one 60, 80, whatever I can cast it. Cast one out to the max, one, just out a few yards, and see where the bites are at. Because, you know, if you keep them fanned out, cast one over here, one over this way, and one in the center at different depths, you know, you got a better chance of catching something. And if you start, let's say you catch one out that's only 20 yards off the bank and you catch a fish on it, and then you cast it back out in the same area, and you catch another fish on that one and you ain't got a bite on the other one, the other 2 rods, then you know to pull your rods in. If you're catching fish or getting bites out in the deeper water, it's always best just to go ahead and cast them all out there. Basically, wherever you're getting that's why you use the 3 rods scattered out at different points, because whichever rod's getting the bites, it's the depth you want to go to and the area, that you want to go to. Because that's usually where all the fish are laying at. Once you get one bite somewhere, pretty sure you're going to get bites in the same place, same depth. Laura the Explorer's in the house. I'm glad you come in, Laura. I don't blame you. I'm getting ready to cut the stream off here in a few minutes anyway. Found out my daughter's on the way to the house, so I'm getting ready to go home, call tonight and go home. We ain't had no luck anyway. It's just been a flooded bank and dealing with a lot of current and flooded waters that's taking debris and dragging my lines down the bank. So we ain't doing too good anyway. But I'm glad you come in. I was hoping on getting the fish before I got off here, so everybody could see one landed. Had a few good bites and thought we was gonna get lucky. Yeah, be careful with the fins, CT. Honestly, be careful with the fins. Uh, it's actually what would you call it? I'm in a kind of a conundrum with fishing because I love catfishing. Catfishing is my life. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. I've been serious about it for 35 years. Uh, but at the same time, I've had one of the roughest childhoods in the world. I've been beat by my father multiple times, cut my face open with a butcher knife. He was an abusive alcoholic. He never had that problem until he decided one day to go catfishing. And he grabbed a catfish and it bit him in his finger. And they wound up doing 9 surgeries on that finger before they removed it. And then they did so much nerve damage in his hand he had to go on disability. And he couldn't deal with it. He lost it from there after he had to go on disability. But yeah, I target the fish that cause me the most problems in life. I don't blame you, Laura. I almost gave up 20 minutes after I got here. If you get a chance to go back in the video, you'll see I was showing them the body, the where I'm at and everything else. I'm literally surrounded by trees. It's a big circle like this. I've got maybe 20 foot, the about 20 foot to cast before I start hitting tree limbs. And I'm using a 9.5 foot rod, so I go to zing out and I don't go nowhere. So it's been a nightmare. I've done had this my favorite rod, my baby. Uh, I done backlashed it so bad I can't get the backlash out of it. I got one rod sitting 20 foot off the shore, and the other rod's probably maybe 30 yards off the shore as far as I can get it. So yeah, it's been a nightmare, but it is what it is. But it was a nice night. I figured, might as well come out and see what happened. You tell spring is in the air. Bugs are everywhere now. They ain't been out here for a while. And I got them flying around my camera, crawling on the ground around my feet. Yep, spring's here. Hopefully this water goes down in the next couple of weeks so I can get out here and do some more fishing and hopefully land some monsters for y'all. Now, see, that's the one thing I didn't have to worry about, Louisiana and Laura. The wind has actually been great here. It has actually been great. I'm surprised. Normally, the wind's so bad out here that it blows you over. But if I hold up a lighter, you can see my lighter's staying lit. It is just so calm right now. But at the same time, that ain't always a good thing. Yeah, I got just the opposite problem, Laura. My shad's still frozen. This was all of a spur of the moment live. I literally decided I was gonna go live today and grabbed my gear and ran out the door and realized all my bait was in the freezer. Getting some bouncing that whisker seeker. So I'm gonna give it 5 more minutes, y'all, and then I'm gonna cut the stream. All right, Laura, thank you, and I will. I'll go home and spend about 5 or 6 hours with her because she won't go to bed. She'll be up past the time I go to sleep. Teenagers, they don't know what bedtime is. before the 5 minute rule. We just got to nibble on the big rod, so I'll give it 5 more minutes and I'm calling it. Take it down. Come on. Keep on going with it. Come on. You can do it. They're literally teasing me. They're pulling the rod down about 2 or 3 inches and then they're letting it come right back up. All right, Louisiana, I'll holler at you, brother. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, actually, CT, I do use live bluegill, mainly for flatheads though. I'll cut the top fin down enough to where it's like not going to stab the fish, where I can get it back out when, if I hook the fish just right and I gotta get the bluegill out, and then I'll cut like clip the tail a little bit, just enough to where it can't swim. It'll just sit there and twitch and jerk and try to swim for hours. But I mainly use them for bluegill. I mean for flatheads because the channel cat, for some reason, if you cast a live bluegill out there and a channel cat will kill it on purpose. They don't even eat it half the time. They'll just crush it. They will just crush it and leave it dead. And then something will come along, an hour later and pick it up. But usually, yeah, that's all I ever get out of the live bluegill is flatheads or channel cats will crush them. Of course, I haven't caught a channel cat out of the river in probably 5 years. Everything I've caught is big blues. That's all I usually target now is the blues. And the blue cat, they bite better on cut bait. Best bait I found for channel cats is actually night crawlers dipped in where you go get the blood dough ball bait from the store, the stink baits. Put a couple of those in your night crawler by a container for about 24 hours, and then take them out fishing with that. And they usually kill the channel cats. Usually tear that up. They love them night crawlers, which is what I'm surprised about now because channel cats usually stay in closer, and everything else in flooded waters they'll go explore more than the blues do. And I've got a rod right up against the bank. I'm talking 20 foot off the bank with a night crawler on it. It's only bounced once, so it is what it is. All right, bro. I'll let you CT. I'm about to cut it short anyway. I got about another 2 or 3 minutes, and if I ain't got a fish on, then I'm going to go home, spend time with fam, and chill, warm up a little bit. It start getting a little chilly out here. It ain't cold, but my feet are a little cold because me stepping in the mud. But like I still got 25 minutes worth of packing up gear to do. I was hoping that rod was gonna go over before we got off here, but apparently it ain't. They're just gonna play with it some more.
Oh. That was like.
All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. Reel them in and call it a night and go ahead and head back to the house. Guess we'll just put another skunk in the books. All right, get you some sleep, John. And I'll catch y'all later. Sorry I couldn't land a monster for y'all on live, but we'll do it again. We'll see what we can do. Y'all have a good one.